Healthy male role models. We don't really have them anymore. We don't have heroes we can admire and look up to and try to emulate in our own lives. What we do have are people like Andrew Tate or Pedro Pascal. Both, I think, are great representations of a false alternative that we face as men in today's world. On one side, you can be a arrogant, angry, womanizing, shallow jerk.
Shut the fuck up.
All he cares about is trying to create this persona of this, this macho tough guy. And on the other side, we have a guy who is very obviously deeply insecure, who is constantly concerned with trying to apologize for being a man, apologizing for his existence, apologizing for what other men do. He clearly gets this sense of moral righteousness for undercutting his nature as a man. It's very self-loathing.
I'm not informed enough. I want people to be safe and to be protected, and I want very much to live on the right side of history. And I'm an immigrant. My parents are refugees from Chile.
Let's see your nails first. As a fan of your nails, I would like you to show them to me, please. Oh, come on, please.
Your nails are awesome. So are yours.
It's just the best thing I ever saw. It's a Kingsman nail. Get a shot of that.
How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. I'm talking to you guys. Oh.
So we're sort of caught between being this arrogant jackass who just uses and walks all over women and has no respect for really anybody, or being this self-loathing, slightly effeminate guy who tries to undermine and apologize for the fact that he's a man. And this is really all we have for role models for men in the West. And why it's so damaging, particularly for men, is because it leaves us feeling like, well, what the hell am I? How do I function? How do I act? How do I treat women? How do I treat myself? How do I behave? Is it okay to be a man? Is it okay to just be myself? What does it even mean to be myself? And of course, for women out there, it's really destructive because they feel like, for a guy to just comfortably be a man unapologetically, that means he's this asshole who doesn't treat women with any respect.
Claire. Shut up, Claire. You swallow cum. Claire, you literally swallow cum. What the fuck do you know about business? Be quiet.
Or if he does treat women with respect, then that means he's, this apologetic, self-loathing, meek, unassertive, non-masculine guy. And of course, this whole false alternatives goes right down to what feminism has taught us about what the nature of a man is, that a man is inherently toxic, he's inherently aggressive towards women. And so what we need is healthy male role models, and thankfully, we have loads of them in the past. So today I want to tell you about one really good male role model. That is Yul Brynner. Now what's so great about Yul Brynner is that he breaks this false dichotomy that we today are trapped in, of if you are masculine, then you're an arrogant asshole who treats women like garbage.
Do you obey? This dude's out there every day fucking working, and he comes home to hear bullshit from you. And then you are the only female on earth he's allowed to have sex with. And when he wants sex, you don't want it. So he has to go through his life sexlessly because you're a fucking frigid ass hoe?
Or you're not masculine and you're okay. You're not a threat.
It's far too intimidating of a question for me to really address. I'm not. So I stand by those protections always. I'm too afraid of your question. I hardly remember what it was.
So Yul Brynner, on the other hand, is powerful without being hurtful or apathetic to others. He's certain without being arrogant. He's civilized without being flowery or non-masculine.
Would you do me the great honor of walking with me into town?
He's intense without being intimidating. Unlike Andrew Tate or, these alpha bros who are trying to embrace masculinity, but they're doing it within the confines of this false alternative. When they try to be masculine, they're trying to be vulgar, intimidating, aggressive, in a threatening kind of way. They're very concerned with other people's opinions, hilariously. because they try to say, "Ooh, we're alpha. We don't care about what other people think of us." But their whole worldview is based around hierarchies of who's the toughest guy in the room, who's getting the girl, who's got the most money. It's entirely about what other people think. Whereas Yul Brynner, unlike that, he has a power to him. He has a certainty.
You won't come back.
Why not?
You won't have any guns. Take them off right now and drop them.
When he's on the screen, he really commands a real power, but it's not about other people. It's not based on other people's opinions. You get this sense that it's like he is grounded in reality. He's grounded in the facts. That's what he's concerned about. Not like modern men who are these macho type of guys. They live in a world of other people's opinions. That's what they are concerned with. And ultimately, that's a pathetic loser.
You guys aren't real G's, so you don't know. I'll tell you what happens when you're a real G. Now, you normalos, you normal little peons, you worms, you peasants, you don't understand why I would do something like that, but I'm going to explain it to you.
So Yul Brynner has this powerful vibe to him, this feeling that he is in control, but not that he is trying to control you or trying to control the other people in the scene. He doesn't have that macho, aggressive quality. It's very much a secure, comfortable, almost calm level of powerfulness on the screen. And that's what makes it, I think, in terms of that, masculine power aspect of like having a level of control of what's going on around you. It's not the insecure kind of control of the the macho types. It's that he's in control of himself. He knows what he wants, he knows why he's there, and he's secure in that fact. Or to put it another way, it's secure masculinity as opposed to insecure masculinity. Again, when it comes to his certainty, when he's delivering the lines, when he plays these characters, the characters that he's playing they're not arrogant. There's a certainty to the way he exists on the screen.
The word is out you're looking for men.
That's right. Men who are good with that.
I'm good with it.
Fast?
Try me.
I aim to. Step in closer. Hold your hands like that. A clap. Faster. As fast as you can. Now you try it.
Very young and very proud.
Yeah, the graveyard's full of boys who are very young and very proud.
Because arrogance is, concerned with swaying other people to make sure other people think that you're smart or know what you're talking about or you're the badass in the room. Someone who's certain, again, there's a calmness that comes from being secure in what it is that you know, or what it is that you want, or what it is that you're trying to achieve. It's not about making the other person think that you're great or think anything about you. It's just about representing yourself with confidence. Something else that I think is a real travesty is that the idea of being civilized has really been sort of effeminized and sort of associated with foppish, flowery aristocrat.
Loved mademoiselle, you are even more beautiful than I recall. If that is possible.
It is a pleasure, monsieur.
The pleasure, I can assure you, is all mine.
The result of that, I think, is that men who want to feel like a man think that that means being brutish, being savage, being, well, uncivilized. And that's a real shame because, well, that leads to a world that is less civilized, which sadly these days we're really seeing a whole lot of uncivility. Men who are very aggressive, men who are very violent, men who have no respect for one another, who don't behave in a civilized way. Yul Brynner, on the other hand, really has this very masculine presence while also being very civilized. And I think the essence of civility is a level of control over yourself, over your body, over how it is that you treat other people. You know, you're not out to control others. You're primarily focused on yourself, your life, your body. And that from that brings a kind of security. I mean, it is wrapped up in kind of that masculine power I was talking about earlier. I think civility and a proper understanding of masculinity really go hand in hand. Because I would say, you know, my view of what the core of masculinity is all about really does come from that shift of not being concerned with what other people think about you, but being focused, really, really focused and grounded in the facts. Like, it's not about what other people think of you. It's not about controlling their reactions to you. It's about just being totally certain and clear for yourself about who you are, what you want, what's going on, and just being clear and confident in that fact. Anyway, so I think he has that quality that you can get out of that by watching him on the screen. Is, you know, that sense of calm civility. And something else that I think is so cool is how fucking intense he is. He's got this incredible intensity in the way that he looks at people. You know, the way that he is focused intensely on what's going on what's happening. And I think what's so great about that in terms of a contrast from what we experience today in our world, a lot of the attitudes and just the facial expressions you come in contact with in media, but also in daily life. You know, the eyes half closed look, that dazed, unfocused, unconcerned, disinterested attitude and facial expression that is so common today. There's a prevailing attitude of, who cares? You know, that's what's cool. That's what's normal. That's what's expected. It's an unfocused way of existing, which is you're basically just drifting through life. You're not operating with intention in life. You're not focused clearly on what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're saying, what it is that you want. You're not actually actively partaking in your life.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
So I think his energy is an excellent example, like just in terms of his presence on the screen, is a great example of what a healthy, masculine man looks like. I think he's a great example of that. So if you want to check out his movies, go watch The Magnificent Seven. You can find it online easily, and it's a really good movie too. But you will see a whole lot of him and his badass presence. And just try and, when you're watching him, just try and pay attention to these elements, as distinguished from the two false alternatives that we have today, the Andrew Tates and the Pedro Pascal, whatever his name is. You know, he's not an aggressive, angry asshole who tramples all over people, and he's also not apologetic for his existence. He's not meek. He's not afraid to assert himself. Anyway, I think he's a great example of what a proper man looks like. And we definitely need more role models of what a proper man looks like these days, because we just don't get that in our daily life anymore. And again, the result of that is we just feel like we're not really sure how to operate on a daily basis. You know, how do you treat your girlfriend? You want certain things out of a relationship. You want to tell her certain things. You want to ask her for certain things. How do you do that in a way that is not pleading, please, girlfriend, please, because that's pathetic and demeaning. But do you do it in a demanding way? You're going to do this. You're going to do this. But sadly, those are kind of the two alternatives that we see in the world. You're either an aggressive asshole or you're a meek loser. Anyway, I hope this video has been interesting. If you liked it, drop a like, and definitely go check out that movie and keep in mind when you're watching him what I said. Also, if you don't know, I came out with a free guide you can download about texting women. It's very challenging to text women, especially early on in dating. You know, you get anxious about what it is they're going to say, you overthink all your texts. So go check out my free little guide. It's a couple of pages of things you can do to help work past that anxiety and that overthinking. So go check that guide out. It's in the description below, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much for watching.
I know you, my sweet. You're a sharp-clawed, treacherous little peacock. But you're food for the gods. And I'm going to have all of you.
None of me. Did you think my kiss was a promise of what you'll have? No, my pompous one. It was to let you know what you will not have. I could never love you.
Does that matter? You will be my wife. You will come to me whenever I call you. And I will enjoy that very much. Whether you enjoy it or not is your own affair. But I think you will.